I have a recording on now, but
All right, go ahead.
Infinite power, infinite power, infinite power.
First topic, shall we? Or are we gonna
I'm going
introduce
intro.
each other?
I'm Cyan.
Let's intro. Go ahead, Sway.
Cyan. Well, I mean, you got
Alright.
Cyan, Shark, or Trevor.
Look.
Whatever you want to
Yeah.
call him.
Hey, the name changes don't matter. It's Cyan now.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, I'm a streamer.
Yes. Streamer, yeah. Sway. Oh,
I'm Larz. I play games.
I play games.
Yeah.
What's up? We all play games.
I mean, that's kind of gamers unite.
What was their first time? PS4 Pro stopped in production, right?
Yeah, the
Oh,
PS4
yeah.
Pro is shutting down the production. I don't know how I feel about that already.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like it needs to be done just because like PS5 shortages are like running rampant and they have to do something about it. So it makes sense that they repurpose those factories to make PS5s.
I honestly think they should have started that before when it came to like pre-orders.
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
true. Yeah.
they had to keep it in
Because, like-
production for a little bit. But just wanting to.
Well, and it's not like it's all PS4s in Japan. It's just every model except the Jet Black 500 gig model.
But it's just
Like
one of
if
those things.
somebody
so you
still
can still
wants
get
one,
like
they
a
can
base
get one.
PS4. Yeah, you just can't
Yeah.
get the Pro. And
Yep.
at this point, why get a Pro when
Which
we can
is
just
weird.
get a PS5?
I don't know why. You
I would say
usually-
it's probably production costs. That's
Yeah.
probably the cheapest one to
it's,
make.
It's cheapest to make this one. It's fair, I guess.
But also,
But yeah, I
like
think
nobody's gonna buy the
it's
PS5, PS4 Pro, and we're gonna use buy PS5 also.
True. Yeah.
Like the PS5 is the same price
Yeah.
as a PS4 Pro. Give or take
I
on
don't know. I imagine they would drop prices on PS4s at this point.
Well, if they're able to, the hardware might still cost too much.
Well, I think they've already been losing money.
I mean, if you
don't
buy a
think they made
PS4,
any
if
money.
you buy a PS4 right now from Walmart,
Actually,
it's 400.
I don't. I think
That
if
might be true.
$430.
Yeah. Do
I
they
think Microsoft and Sony both technically are net negative when it comes
they
to
sell consoles at a loss? Yeah. And
They
then they
always
make
have.
their money back on
Yeah.
games and accessories.
Yeah, their controllers and games and whatever else they can get consumer to buy.
Yeah.
Which is probably the main reason that games are never going to go down in price
Mhm.
on console. It'll be
Well, actually, didn't they
They're
up the
70.
price? So like new
70
games are
now.
$70 now. Yeah.
I think certain titles have done that for sure.
yeah, so I mean, like for PC, may never have that problem though.
Well,
I
maybe.
mean, who knows? It might be, you know, there
might
might be
leach
games
into
in
this, too.
2021 that say 70, but you know, even
Well, the easiest way to check wouldn't that be NBA 2K21?
GameStop is 70,
70.
but I see one from Best Buy for 60. So who knows?
I mean, so as I thought Sony was the only one doing it. I didn't know
No.
if Xbox was or not.
It's
Did they
dependent on
both say they're going to go to 70, or if
It's
it was
the-
just
I thought they-
one?
It's dependent on the publisher. It's up to the publisher.
Right.
It's not up to like the actual. It's not up to like Microsoft or Sony.
Okay,
it's
so if
depending
the
of the-
publisher
if
wants
the
a bigger
industry-
cut, they have to up the price.
That or if the industry. It just depends on the industry trend.
Hmm.
I understand where they want to get and make more money off their games, but at the same time, like $60. Who am I to say? I feel like the price of a game, especially if it's a single player game, it better be a long single player game if I'm gonna spend $60 for it. In my mind,
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
because
pretty fair.
I view games and certain things that I buy different ways. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna spend so much for it, it better last me blank hours of usage or something like that, where I must like really enjoy it, not get that price back.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah, I feel that. But I mean, at the same time, like I'll spend.
I can throw $100 at a game if I get like 100+ hours off it easy. If all of a sudden my dollar is equal to an hour of entertainment, I have no problem.
Yeah.
If it's a fun enough story, like
I spend money on movies for less and get only a couple hours out of it anyways.
If it's a good enough like story game though, like a good 8 to 12 hour story game that's like solid the whole way out, I'm okay with like 60, even 70 if it's just if it feels like it's worth it. The game has to feel worth it. There's so many games in the market that have kind of just not been worth what they ask,
sure.
and then kind of like, oh. Like, I mean, you can say, is Cyberpunk worth 60 because it's one of those, but
I think
it's one of those games that you can pour a ton of hours into, but it's also not the greatest experience all the way around.
I feel like it's too early to tell on Cyberpunk still. Like,
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
the jury's still out on CD Projekt Red and
Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
Well, don't they have like another free patch coming soon? It's like a free DLC or something.
I didn't know about that, but probably.
Pretty sure they do. Let me look.
But I mean, like, they're still making
patch, and like they update their games
stability. They're still doing stability patches to make the game run easier on older hardware, I imagine. So.
But then
Right.
when does that come into play against? Okay, well, if I'm paying $60 right now or $70 right now to buy this game in the beginning, when it's still not done.
I mean, it's
like,
patient.
Mhm.
yeah, I just feel like at this point it's kind of like if you are charging
you
70
gotta
for
set
a
your
game,
expectations somewhere. Like, you know,
yeah, but 70 if you
some people are gonna view it differently. That's
Yeah.
with everything. Like, if I can wait, if I can spend it and be like, all right, I can be patient, make it wait. 'Cause I want to play it, see what it is. I can wait it out.
Yeah.
Plus, if you don't like it, they've already made it where you refund. So if you don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
refund
really that's true. It's like it's thankfully super easy on at least on PC to get refunds. on
They've made
games.
it
I don't
very
know how it is on
clear that
console.
if you're not happy with their game, refund it.
Oh yeah.
So like people that are like, if you're still complaining about it, like they've given you an option. It's either you can hang in there and wait for them to patch it, or you can get your money back and stop complaining. Which I think that's very clear why talk about it has gone down a whole lot.
I mean, it's
Besides
just
just like
also
funny
like
glitches
Tom is like
people are
settled on it.
laughing at.
Tom has settled on it also. It's to the point where it's like, okay, we know this is what the game is right now. Until they do like a No Man's Sky turnaround, it's not going to be any different. It's just people that do enjoy the game, though. They do enjoy it.
I don't think it'll have exactly a No Man's Sky type of response though. Turnaround.
You don't think so?
There's no way it gets the credit of turnaround that No Man's Sky got.
Yeah.
No shot. Because I think that comes down to who published the game and the expectation. Because I'm pretty sure the expectations were higher for Cyberpunk than they were for No Man's Sky. So, at least that's where I stand. We went from PS4 to
yeah, I was gonna say we're off topic.
Poggers.
Anyway, we'll move to Rust finally coming. Is Rust finally coming to console in 2021?
Yes, it is. 2021 is finally coming to console.
Okay.
How's that gonna run? How does Rust run on PC? 'Cause I haven't played it.
Honestly, it's not
it
too
runs better than it used to.
Yeah.
So Rust has actually been around. I think there was even a web browser version of it. But
I played it back in the web browser, dude. I got the
did
game
you?
for free on
Okay.
Steam somehow.
But they
Somewhere I
actually
played that.
they completely restarted the game from scratch in 2015, I want to say. And they've just been steadily like pushing out updates, and then it got officially released in 2018, I think. 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So they've had time to like trial and error for consoles for sure. And the fact that it's like, you know, PS5 and Xbox Series X, like they're not insane machines, but they should be able to handle it pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
So is it just next gen that they're releasing on, or is it going to be?
I don't know that for certain,
I'm
but
sure
that wouldn't
PS
surprise me.
I'm sure PS4 could
I
run
feel
at
like-
least 30 frames. Decent.
I feel like, okay, this is going to go into a different subject, but at what point are we going to say that 30 frames is not a good standard to launch a gaming title on?
Hopefully this year. Hopefully this
I
year.
feel like
I think the
everything
end-
should
the
be
end of
launching at
these-
60 minimum.
The end of
I agree.
the end of this current
'Cause if,
console
like-
cycle is gonna be the death
Because, I
of it,
mean,
think.
was it? Destiny finally got boosted up to 60 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord.
Hey, I don't play on console, but hey,
I
good
mean,
for
I
them.
don't either, but, I feel like
Good
it
for
should
them.
always be that for even console players.
Well, and so console players also got the FOV increase.
I feel like FOV sliders is another thing that should be in
Mm-hmm.
all console games, too. I think, was it COD did that this year for console?
I think so.
as
Yeah,
well?
they did it on Cold War. Pretty sure.
Which is, awesome. I feel like, Activision is onto something there for their games at least.
Do you guys
Even
think
though
Rust
Bungie's
is
no
gonna be?
longer there.
Do you guys think with Rust coming to console, it's gonna be a big game and like take over a bit of a scene? Like it already currently it kind
I
of
feel like
has.
it will have a popularity on console.
I mean, it's already had a scene on PC, and like now with it being on console, I feel like the player
I
base is
think
gonna
it
grow
comes
a
down
ton.
to how
How good the
servers are going to work. How are you going to get into a game with friends?
I'm sure
Right.
that'll be
And-
easy.
well,
Is it going
it'll be
to
much-
be like a Minecraft where you can create your own world and you can have friends join you on your said world while you're on, and then if you're off, no one can play on it? Or is it going to be
I think it's still gonna just be server
servers?
based.
You can-
Like you can rent a server.
One
That's what I would
really
expect.
big factor is skins. How are they going to implement those? Because like on Steam, you just go to the marketplace, you can buy a skin, done deal.
Yeah.
But this could be an opportunity for them to make it more lucrative for them, where it's like maybe they add a battle pass for console, or like who knows what direction they could take that.
I mean, if they do that, that's
How would you
probably
gauge a
something
battle
they're going to
pass
plan
on
on
it?
doing for PC.
Oh yeah,
Just
I
for
don't doubt that at
experience.
all. I'm just saying that could be like the
Or they could
patch
just do
for consoles could be the
microtrans-
patch that
They
pushes
might
all
do-
that.
They might create a battle pass, and then all previous things that have been on PC, they might just do microtransactions, and you could buy those straight up once a month.
Right.
Add a price to it. Be like, this is worth blah blah blah. Granted, that might hurt the PC market for whatever it's worth. but
Well, it
Does the
depends
PC
on
market
you can
require,
be
like,
worried about
keys?
that.
if they ever plan on doing like crossplay, then I think it would affect the PC market. But other than that, they're both like their own closed systems, so I don't think it would.
You think there's
change-
crossplay?
I guess that's true because thinking about Rocket League, this is Rocket League and PC marketplace works completely different, and I don't think I'm not sure you can trade cross-platform on that. So I guess it really becomes different if you can trade across platforms,
Right.
which changes a whole different thing. Back to Rust though. So Rust comes to console
Mm-hmm.
sometime
And it's
next year,
yeah,
think-
sometime 2021.
and that's
I would-
confirmed.
That is confirmed. I would guess it would be like
You
late
think-
summer months.
So
I
I don't-
yeah, I
I don't
guess
think
middle of
Too
summer.
soon.
late
yeah.
quarter 2 or early quarter 3 type
Yeah.
of.
Somewhere around there is what
Say
I'd guess.
Late quarter
my guess
two.
would
Although I
probably
could see
early
like a
quarter
Christmas-
3 actually.
I could see a late quarter 4.
Like
Like a
quarter 4, so
holiday
like
release?
December.
Yeah, I could see it being a December release.
Hmm.
That's
Like,
not what I'm
it'd be going up
expecting,
against-
but
it'd be going up
it
against
would
so many
make sense.
titles.
I don't actually. I feel like that one might be harder for. I guess
that
it
is
comes-
true because it's an older game.
Yeah.
It's going to be competing with the newer stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna want to catch that in the months where people are like, "Oh, what are we gonna play?" And then be like,
Right,
"Hey,
right.
there's Rust on console," and then it may not. It's not gonna.
I feel like it would
affect PC
take
players,
it's gonna be
but console
like
players
quarter
might
two.
take a
Quarter two.
big hit.
Quarter two, late summer, when everybody's bored of everything
My
else.
guess would be
That's
sometime
it.
after school lets out in the summer.
That
It's
makes sense.
Well, it's a perfect. They know it's a perfect time sync game. They just gotta find the spot where it's open,
Yeah.
and not
Or
like.
at least that's what my mind would do. Would be kids are out of school, they're gonna have more time to play my game. I'm gonna release it in the summer. But not everyone thinks the same. All right, and then
It's popping off. Twitch.
Or-
Twitch is like.
Oh, yeah.
Rust is taking over Twitch for
Rust.
right now.
I don't know if I'd
think-
say taken over, but it's definitely
grown.
it's yeah, for sure.
it's crazy how streamers can affect what is popular
Mhm,
gaming wise. They
Definitely.
influence so much.
I mean, Rust is a good game for that. You really want to
Well, I
think
mean,
about
it's just
stream wise. It's not a bad stream game to watch.
Well, that's the crazy thing though, is it's kind of been dormant
Yeah.
since it's come out.
Yeah.
Like it's always had that opportunity, but it doesn't seem like it's popped off until now.
I mean, like if you get enough people like running communities out, like, just running communities out of it, like it already had. There's so much ability, like just like streamers, like people in the server interact with each other through like the streaming element, also like ways to build up servers through just like streaming.
From what me and Shark talked about, was it the player base was there technically beforehand, I believe, right? You said it was like 100,000 players.
It's always had a player base
before streamers started streaming it. So I think the reason Rust hasn't popped off is the lack of content creators in and around the game.
That's fair. Yeah.
I feel like a game can be successful.
Well, there's still a lot of content creators.
But whenever, what?
Like I guess especially on YouTube, it's just the
whenever
platform.
you need the notable names in a sense for it to be like the game.
Yeah.
So whenever you get the I guess Ninja Myths, XQCs, and Shroud and Summit,
just giving
or
the game like
whoever else that are like notable names that have the tens of thousands of followers, that is when you can see like a game like really launch itself to a different like level or stratosphere, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it gives them that like middle of nowhere like giant boost of players, and then you have people that stick around with that game after that. Like, hey, I really do enjoy this. Like, I think Siege is one of those games that's kind of took that.
They do their own thing,
but then after so long, it does end up falling off. Like, do you guys remember Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Fall Guys had that hot summer,
that hot
3-4 months or whatever.
Yeah, now it's like I think it has 10K viewers on Twitch lately. I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still a great game. It's just dependent on what the biggest names on Twitch and stuff want to stream.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I think Rust has a lot of
that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, Among Us is still kind of huge. It kind of hit that party game sweet spot for a lot of people.
Yeah. I think Rust can kind of do a little bit of that, but it also feels like caters the people that just want to play and grind something. And there's tons of room. There's tons of area for.
It's more of that survival, more of like a survival first person than just like a party game type aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I feel like there's more. What's the word?
There's more
like
content.
cross-pollination of viewers between like Tarkov, for instance, and Rust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the element that keeps those there is the losing the story of making that character of like what you're doing this stream. Like that this stream has a little bit of its own story itself just through the server or the game or like the server or game like you're playing. Make sense?
Yeah.
Like not every stream is going to be the same because of that alone of the game.
Tarkov has its steady spot that comes back every so often. I feel like Tarkov has its wipe that basically rejuvenates itself every so often.
It's like if you don't get in on wipe, if you don't get in like on like the first week of wipe,
then you're going to be behind.
You're having a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's like one of those things like if you're playing through that, like you have that first couple of weeks of where like you're really enjoying it and you fill up on loot or whatever, and then say you get bored, you can move on to something else and come back like right before wipe and then just like blow everything that you've earned, and then you can start off with the fresh wipe.
Tarkov's an interesting game. It's a very
I feel like
game
Tarkov has that like every few months it blows up on Twitch and then slowly dies off, and then once wipe happens it spikes up and then goes back.
I mean, it has its viewer base.
Sure.
It has its demographic it fills, and there's a lot of people that just like watching that game on it.
I mean, it is a pretty fun game to watch when you're watching someone like pop off.
Yeah, definitely.
Know what they're doing. It has an appeal for sure.
Alright, you guys want to move on to state of PvP in Destiny 2, or you can
I feel like Larz is the key one. I think he plays the most PvP out of all of us.
That's saying something because I don't play any PvP.
I'm I'm going to say it. I enjoy PvP, but it gets really old right now, just due to the fact of like stasis being everywhere, and this is coming.
It's just it's so dominant, and it's not okay. The ability to freeze somebody in a game like Destiny is so insane because Destiny is such a movement-based game. Like, mobility really matters. So to be able to make somebody stop in their tracks completely with just using your melee charge, like it's just too strong.
Or not even using them.
There's not a good counter to stasis other than stasis.
And it ruins the variety of how the game kind of felt before.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, then it's just like, okay, so there's always like oh, that guy's playing sweaty, so I'm gonna play sweaty. There's always been that, but most of the time it's like
it's not down to just an ability.
It's like a rock paper scissors. Stasis doesn't have that. It doesn't have something that outdoes it. Whereas like a shotgunner, you can just play a little bit slower, use ranged weapons. Shotgunner's not gonna be able to touch you as long as you hit your shots and have good positioning. But like it's way too good for what it is. I personally feel like if stasis supers could freeze people, but abilities could only slow people down, that might be more balanced.
Or at least
I
PvP.
think
Yeah,
I
for
think it
PvP.
goes to the point of skill ceiling and skill floor that stasis has such
It's
an
lo-
ease of
it's
use
raised
that
the skill floor.
floor is it's so good
It's so-
for how
yeah.
easy it is to use.
For sure. Well, and then it if you want to use like if you don't want to use stasis, you get punished because maybe that guy's not better than you, but he's using stasis.
But
So then
Shatter
it
Dive
just
dives
pushes
is
you back
ruined.
into using stasis again.
Like with Shatter Dive, or even just like the Titan.
Yeah.
What I think the Titan doesn't Titan get like a huge slide now or slide boost or something too?
It has
Yeah,
this
so
slide that breaks
they
ice
get 2
floor.
slides and then they have a cooldown.
Yeah.
But they're pretty crazy slides, and you can
Yeah.
slide through ice as well.
I've seen some pretty nutty plays with the slides, and like that's
Mhm.
not putting down like, hey, Shadow Dive is really one of the biggest issues that it doesn't even have its own.
Cooldown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't have the cooldown, but it's just like you can literally just keep spamming it over and over.
hmm
It's such a panic mechanic that I feel
Yeah,
like
it
when
is.
I run into
It
it,
is.
there's so many people that I like. If I'm chasing someone that's one shot, they'll just run around a corner, throw ice wall, and I mean, like, I guess you could be like, you just gotta stop chasing the hunter, but at that point, it's like,
They can attack.
Where am I?
It's just so easy to like. Okay,
why
I'm
I just
gonna
let them
run that
heal
back.
up, and then they're
He's
gonna
gonna run
run
me back.
at me and throw a nade and slam on it.
Yeah, you lose.
Right.
It's a lose because it's an instant kill.
Yeah, I feel like Shatter Dive with the wall has a very large.
Well, so that's
radius.
where the Whisper of
Blaster.
Fissures comes in, because the regular one
Nice.
doesn't have that big of like a hitbox, I guess. But if you use Whisper of Fissures, it's way too generous in like the increased damage that it does, but also the size of the burst. So you don't even have to be next to it, but if they have that Whisper of Fissures on, then it kills you anyways, basically.
Yeah, that's huge.
I
Yeah.
think.
What is it? And you get how many fragment? You get 4 fragment slots, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like the chances of you not using it is
Or
pretty-
wait,
What-
no.
what
So
would you all-
Warlock gets 4.
Okay.
Yeah, Warlock gets 4. Hunter gets 2. I
Is that
feel like
supposed to
Titan
balance
gets
it?
3, but I'm not sure about. It's definitely like the intention is to balance it, but I don't think it accomplishes that.
'Cause I don't.
They're balanced in that they're both unbalanced. Like, you know.
Because any hunter that plays PvP is gonna end up running that if
Mhm.
that's what they plan on doing.
I'm not
Because
hunting
they're
main,
like, how do I make this one mechanic that I enjoy using so much?
Well,
to
and
go
then
better?
their other aspect, if they dodge around somebody, I think it slows people down.
Mhm.
So just combining those, they've got such a strong synergy.
They can
So-
just destroy you.
Yeah.
It's the crazy thing is because I thought they're throwing. I guess not. I don't want to say throwing knife because it's not a throwing knife.
The shuriken?
I thought
The shuriken.
the shurikens for the hunter would be stronger I thought that was what was going to be annoying when Beyond Light first came out for a hunter.
I didn't expect that because it's always required like,
I
a little bit of precision on its own. Like,
I don't know.
Well,
I think Shadow Dive is.
The Warlock one doesn't even have that much auto aim, but it's so easy to use too, though.
Well, the hitbox on the Warlock one is pretty massive.
Yeah, I was gonna say with that one, it's almost like a.
I don't even know, but I mean, you don't know if it's the hitbox is that hard on it either, though. It could just be as easy.
That's
to hit
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you've played with it. It's just that Shadow Dive is so easy to use and frequent.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Also, running on like how it just like seems like that Bungie has given up on PvP, at least in my opinion, a little bit right now.
It definitely seems that way.
Crawls, it's I don't play enough crawls to know, but every video I've watched, the community has pretty much just said it's like rampant cheating and just to the point where it's where it was before. It's the same issues that plague the game that keep plaguing the game.
If you're gonna bring it back every season, shouldn't they get like new weapons?
Yeah, you would think.
'Cause I feel like that would fix a lot of the loot problem in the game too. If you just like start changing weapons out.
So we're seeing like the beginning effects of sunsetting weapons. We haven't even seen like, okay, so imagine, you know, this shotgun that I've been grinding for in the raid, right? And I bought literally like 50 of them at the inn chest.
Yeah.
You still can't throw one.
Well, yeah, I still can't get it, but that's beside the point. I won't be able to use that in the raid that comes out next year. Not talking about Vault of Glass, I'm talking about the Witch Queen raid. Because it will be sunset.
What is it? They have it whenever you get it.
Are they gonna be able to supply
whenever
enough
a new
weapons
season
to stop
starts, right? Whenever a new season starts, if you go back into that raid, you have to get the new role again.
Well, so that's the way Beyond Light is, but we'll have to wait until next season if we actually see that. Like, that might not carry through next season.
Because if you go into Last Wish now and you get Season of the Hunts logo on Last Wish weapon, right?
I believe so,
I
yeah.
think so. You all think they're going to keep sunsetting the way it is or change it eventually? Because I feel like they're going to realize they can't keep up with the amount of weapons needed in the game. Like,
I
keep the game like fun and fresh. And I feel like they're going to run out of weapons.
I feel like they almost have to do either they have to completely change something up or stick with it.
Yeah.
Until they find something else, because you can't just be like, yeah, well, sunsetting wasn't the best option, so we're going to bring back like whatever they've sunsetted for a reason, so all that stuff isn't going to be as good.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Which
like, let's bring back, you know.
Well, and it's so hard to be in the
stuff.
It's so hard for them to be in the position they are because like, okay, so Leviathan came out and it had Midnight Coup, and that was an excellent hand cannon, and it had 2 perks, and it was because it was from the raid that it had the 2 perks. Gives you a reason, it gives you an incentive to go after that weapon. But now I can get a shotgun just off the ground with Grave Robber Vorpal weapon. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't even have to do anything to get good weapons anymore. And then I thought that was going to change because the new raids weapons have really unique perks. But now they're telling people that at some point
those are going to be on.
Those perks are going to be on just random weapons, not from the raid. So it's like, well, there goes that little bit of uniqueness, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like they need to find ways to keep guns unique. And I understand why Leviathan's raid weapons eventually became not as unique, because they changed how, you know, double primary was a thing. So obviously certain things are not going to be as valuable as others.
Well, and when Forsaken dropped, all weapons started getting the 2 perk slots.
So like, I don't know how you'd make raid weapons more valuable than like in a different intrinsic way, or if you did 2 mod slots maybe.
I mean, I feel like if they just gave it an extra perk slot, and that perk slot was a perk pool that could only be achieved in that raid or like given in that raid,
Oh, like
then it would
raid
make
weapons
sense.
get
Like
3
he's at
perks,
like
or
Yeah.
essentially the
So-
activity is giving you a special extra perk.
Yeah, I think that could work just
curated to that
fine.
weapon.
I mean,
I mean, that would make it.
what do
That would
you
make it
think
more
if
attainable.
you gave raid weapons to mod slots. Would
Well,
that be
okay, so then that's kind of pushing into the adept weapons territory. So when they announced adept weapons for trials,
is that what it's getting to?
well, no, but everybody thought that it was going to be, it's got its regular perk slot and it's got an adept perk slot. What actually has released now is the adept mods go in the same slot as regular mods, which makes there no point in getting them because everybody's going to still use Icarus. You know what I mean? Like the
Because-
PvP sweats, they're not going to use the thing that gives them better, like adept handling
It
or
might-
adept
It'd
backup
make
mag or
if the
whatever.
PvE players wanted to go in and get them, it might be worth it. But
But even then, though, like
there's so
they're
many good
essentially
ones.
just. It seems like a
PvP weapons.
swing and a
have, like,
miss
one
to
or-
me.
only have, like,
What's
one
that?
thing.
In my
PvP
mind, on adept weapons, when I heard it, was like you're gonna have almost two masterwork options on it. Like you get the original one, and then you have an adept masterwork or something instead of like an actual like.
Well,
mod.
that could work too, honestly.
It has
but that's
two
just not the way they
masterwork
did it.
options. 'Cause
That would
you
actually be
use
really
mod
interesting
slot.
because you could get, okay, let's say you got like 2 range masterworks. That I
would
actually I
be-
kind of like that.
Oh, so it's like
Because
that's
you
just
could mix
doubling
up.
up on
You could
that.
get double reload, I guess, or something like weird
Mhm.
double stability or.
Well, they could make that second masterwork slot cost like trials tokens, or if so, we're getting
Activity token.
Yeah, activity tokens. We're getting adept weapons for PvE next season, I want to say. For grandmasters. Yeah. So grandmasters
I
are
actually
getting
really like that. for
Yeah,
adept.
I like it a lot. However, it goes back to the fact that current adept weapons just aren't it. They're just not
They
it.
could even change up weapons to make it where like adept were just like masterwork armor in a sense, so like every slot gets plus so much in each category.
Well,
so, like,
actually,
like,
okay,
stability-
so
I don't know if that's as good, but
I will say adept weapons do have that. When you masterwork them, it gives them
they
a little
do,
bump.
truthfully.
It gives a little bump to everything, just like armor. But that little bump doesn't really like
Make
it's nice, but it's not. It's nothing crazy.
I do think was it materials for upgrading weapons needs to change though.
I don't know that. It's not that big.
I think it's all right.
I
think it's
know.
fine.
It just straight up uses mod components, not mod components. My bad.
Enhancement cores
Enhancement cores
and legendary shards and glimmer.
I don't know, but you have armor that takes prisms and
And
cores
ascendant
and
shards.
Like
Yeah.
what are weapons like less?
So I understand what you're saying, but I don't want to have to use ascendant shards and weapons for every weapon I want to master.
I just would like some like unity. Like why did they need to go into prisms and shards?
I think that just goes back to them trying to push people to play the Nightfall
But, yeah,
playlists
it's to make
more
you like
often.
have to. Okay, I want to get the in this weapons like make this weapon as good as possible. You have to do some of the harder at least tasks.
Which I do
makes
feel
sense.
like Nightfalls are better now. So before you would literally just do a Nightfall just so you could like throw on the emblem and it would say like above 100k or whatever your score was.
Yeah.
Like there was really no point to Nightfalls before, so they've actually made them like they've given them a point where you farm them to get mats to upgrade weapons to do better in PvE or PvP or whatever. So I do like that. I like the way that works, but I do see what you're saying about it being a little weird that weapons don't take the same materials to upgrade that armor
It doesn't
does.
even necessarily be the same, but like I feel like you just end up using more of all your like mod component, not mod components, but cores to upgrade weapons, and then all of a sudden, like, you're low when it comes to armor or something. It's just ridiculous.
I guess, yeah.
Most activities only really give out 1 core, and you're just like...
Although, so now you can use your ghost to get more enhancement cores from strikes or...
It was a lot
Gambit or
worse, like, last
PvP.
season, though.
Yeah, for sure. And actually now, sometimes you can open an Ingram and just get a random enhancement core.
Yeah.
So
I guess they finally
definitely in a
realized
better
how
spot.
bad it was, because it was... I was struggling to keep up with the amount of other stuff I had last season. So I think I was in like the 20 range of cores at the end of
dang.
the last season, and then right before reset I did all of the Matter Weave junk before Leviathan went away, so I could actually have some going to it.
Gotcha.
But that was I enjoyed the newer system now with like the modular ghost shell.
Mhm.
Ooh, let's go into what about I just wish they'd make Sparrows modular now too.
Sparrow's a cat.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be nice to not have to default into using the
The raid one from
the raid one.
the lovely 190 Sparrow that's glitched.
Yeah. Just to end on Destiny, for now at least, the fact that there haven't been any new PvP maps in literally 2 years is a bit ridiculous.
Just give us something.
Shadowkeep got 2 maps, and they were both from Destiny 1, so they do not count as new maps. Beyond Light got 0 and took away like 12 or 15 or something. I don't even care if they're bad maps at this point. I'm just tired of playing the same ones over and
Just
over.
give us something.
I'm surprised Europa didn't come out.
There
with
needs
any.
to be a whole
Europa
revamp.
should
on
have had
PvP.
at least 1 or 2.
PvP
Yeah,
needs
I
a
agree with
revamp.
that.
Like
PvP needs to be
icy frozen maps would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
PvP needs a revamp,
100%.
pretty much
but
was. And I guess that's where we feel about that.
yeah.
Yep.
Games releasing in 2020. We are excited for it.
Alright, so up first is Outriders.
It looks cool. The game looks fun. I can definitely see myself playing that. That'll be a day one.
I don't know.
It'll be
If
probably
that's
see how it comes out the week afterwards.
If there's a PvP to that game, I'll pass for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
PvE sounds like it'd be somewhat fun.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like.
it,
Reminds me of a Remnant from Ashes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like a
looks just
more
like that.
polished Remnant from the Ashes.
Yeah, which that game was great, and especially if they're adding more stuff to like something like that. I'm about it.
Mhm.
They'll give me a good summer game to play. Sure, it comes out
Mhm.
summer or like January, so that'll be something. Gotham Knights. Have y'all seen? I seen some stuff on that today. Looks.
Yeah, I
It looks
just saw
pretty
the promo trailer for it.
So it's an action RPG in the light of Batman character. Batman robbing Batwoman, or is it Catwoman?
Batgirl
Batgirl? Yeah, Batgirl. Yeah.
and the
I
Red
don't
Hood
Yeah. Yeah.
and
I don't know enough
Nightwing.
I don't know much Batman.
Nice.
It sounds interesting. I'm not a big DC character kind of guy, but I mean, Batman games have always been pretty good lately. I hope this one's good.
Mhm.
As long as it follows like the same combat, I think it'll be fine. And has a decent
Yeah.
story, and each character has like their own differentiating stories. So I think that's gonna be a nice addition to it. I think it'll be a good if it turns out right. Then it'll be good. It's one of those games it can be done really well or done really cool.
Yeah.
Witch Queen, Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, next
I'm gonna see how it
big
goes.
expansion for Destiny 2.
It'll be a good time.
I think what a lot of people are waiting for is Savathun.
Yeah.
You think that'll be a campaign or a raid?
It's
I've
hard to
seen a
say,
raid.
honestly.
I don't know. I feel like it'll probably be campaign, and you'll take out Savathun and story. Maybe it'll be both. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like
It really just it depends on how they take the story as it is right now, because we're gonna have the Crow on our side. We're gonna have all these new like stories that are collapsing on each other. They've already been done by then.
I think that'll be interesting. I think they need to turn the game around this this expansion, or it will kind of dry out.
I don't know about turnaround. Destiny always has this like
I mean, it's
make or break,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not actually ever been make or break. They know what they're doing. They're losing PvP players right now, but in the long run, they'll put out an expansion and people are gonna buy it. And that's kind of just the way it is.
It's like in waves. People come and go, and that happens with every game.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think about Halo Infinite? Possibly this year? Or you guys think it's gonna be delayed again?
I think it was a very wise move that they made to postpone it by a year.
Oh yeah,
Because I'd rather play a decent game a year later than, you know, be disappointed in my purchase.
yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I feel like they teased it too early too, though.
Mhm.
Like, you know, they teased it like 2 years ago at E3 with just like the name of it, and it's like
Think about the
no
Rockstar
trailer,
rule,
no
don't
nothing.
show the
Like,
game
why'd you
until it's
even say
finished.
anything? And then you
Mhm.
had a release date out there for almost 6 or 7 months, saying it'd be, you know, Christmas, holidays.
Go by the Rockstar rule and don't show the game until it's actually finished, or at least in a much playable state.
God,
That is honestly, I'm
That's-
okay with it.
they're not Rockstar though.
I mean,
so, like,
yeah.
they're
Halo's
not
on
gonna
that.
do that.
Halo's on that same level of name.
No. Well, maybe on name, but it's not the
But-
same company. They're not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
I think it's a good. I
Like-
think it's the best. Right now, it's probably the best strategy for showing a game off. At least, just because
I don't even know. Can you say that, you know, it is on the same name? Because like I feel like, you know, Halo is one of those childhood games that we've all necessarily played, but like the newer generation has no clue what it is when people talk about it.
I always forget that.
Because
yeah,
it's not like
that's
COD
true.
that gets put out every single year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been what, 4 years since
I want to say 4
5's
years.
release?
Yeah.
Since like
Well, and 5 didn't exactly do so hot either.
I mean, 5's doing great now.
maybe not. It definitely not story wise,
Yeah,
but
multiplayer has been hurt. I've heard
I
really
think
good about the multiplayer.
you know, it's just the Halo community is like one of those really hard places to talk about because so many people have different opinions on what it should and shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm not coming at it from like a story perspective because like your campaign is your campaign, and to a certain degree, everyone's gonna have their critiques.
Yeah.
But the Halo players that want no sprint.
Why is
don't
that? That's always
understand.
one that comes down for you there. I mean, they're gonna keep.
Okay,
They're gonna
I
keep
don't-
sprints in it. Sprints.
I will say I would rather have no sprint than have a cooldown on my sprint.
That is very
Yeah,
true. That's
yeah.
fair.
I don't know.
But I
Played
mean-
so I've been playing the Halo games recently. And they do feel good. I think this next one has a lot of potential, especially being on PC.
I think
Like, let's-
speed when first-person shooters like COD and Halo, not to put them necessarily in the same boat, but the faster those games play, the more entertaining it is to watch.
Yeah.
That's
mean, just in-
definitely fair.
I
yeah.
think.
I
Halo
feel
Infinite
like,
will be,
especially with Halo being a competitive scene that people want to watch or people want to compete in, it needs to be fast. It can't be slow and methodical like a Valorant, because
Yeah.
it's not Valorant.
Mhm.
Nor
But it's never
do
really
any
been
of the games
slow.
that play that.
Like, if you ever watched, it's never really been slow.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying not being able to sprint is going to hurt it in my mind because
I mean,
the faster
you're gonna
it
be able to
is.
sprint. You're gonna be able to sprint.
Well,
That's no question.
I just
I
know
think
there's probably Halo fans out there, and I've definitely heard it from Halo people
Oh yeah.
that they want to have no sprint, and it's like I don't think that's a place you can go now.
Mhm.
And
No, once you've
modern
added it, you
games
can't
have
get rid
it.
of it. But I think the game
Yeah.
will be. I think it's gonna turn out good. I think the gunplay looked fine from like watching it. I think it's just the graphically and like how it looked. Was what the
I
biggest
think
issue with
the
fans
guns
were.
the guns graphically didn't look that appealing to me.
Mhm.
They shot fine and stuff, but like visually they didn't look like what Halo weapons look like.
It didn't have a shine to it.
I mean, if you were to compare like what like a BR to a BR, I'm pretty sure they look nothing alike. You'd
Yeah.
be like, is that what this is supposed to be? I don't know.
What about a new Mass Effect finally coming out again? Any hope for it?
No comment. Never played Mass Effect.
Oh,
That's one that I've never played as well.
okay. So as the only guy here that's played Mass Effect, I hope this one's good. I didn't play Andromeda because of how bad I heard it was, and I really enjoyed 3. I'd like to see where they take it after 3. I think it's a fantastic franchise that has been hurt, and I want to see them have a good redemption for it. I hope it turns out good. It looks sick, or just a good next generation version of Mass Effect is always.
Wasn't Andromeda
Like,
made
it's-
by like a different company too, though?
No,
was
it
it
was still
not?
made. It was still made by BioWare.
Okay, never mind.
Back for Blood.
Haven't heard anything on this game either.
What?
Same. Yeah.
Okay. This one is
2 in a row.
It's okay.
Augers.
It's okay. I'll inform you all as
I'll
much
look
as I
for
can. So Back for Blood is from Turtle Rock Studios, the guys that made Evolve and were the original creators of the game of Left 4 Dead. Not saying that Valve had no involvement in it, but it's in the same spiritual light of Left 4 Dead, and it looks really cool.
Is it a sequel to Left 4 Dead or something?
No, it's not. It's
I
a
mean, yeah.
spiritual successor.
Spiritual successor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna
They
be
were
much
allowed
more.
to keep the 4, is what you're telling me.
It looks interesting. I think we are in kind of need of a good zombie game in that essence, like a good updated kind of what Left 4 Dead was. Those games have always been fun.
Yeah.
They're just fun
So
games to play with
it's-
your friends.
It's gonna play the same as a Left 4 Dead in a sense, just updated.
A little bit. Yeah,
And
I would
it's
expect
different, new characters and stuff like
that.
that.
Yeah,
I guess.
new engine. I think it looks cool. It looks super gory. It looks like there's hordes of zombies on screen. I'm about it. Give me something to shoot some zombies in, dude. I'm about it.
Zombies games are always pretty neat.
I'm gonna move to personal games of the year.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I would consider this like a game of the year, but
Uh-huh.
Genshin Impact, when it came out, I sunk way too much time into it.
Yeah.
Now that the new Destiny expansion's released, I haven't put as much time into it, but it's definitely up there for my games released in 2020.
I think
For
it's
sure.
probably at least in my top 5.
Yeah.
At least in my
I
top
have
5.
not put a single second into Genshin. I downloaded it and then deleted it off my computer.
Okay.
This way. What
I
do you
just,
play, man?
I don't know.
I get it.
Something. It's not that the art. I think it was more on the. I hate saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the weebier side of.
Yeah, that's
Files.
fair.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair.
So I didn't pull my
Um,
attention as much as I would have.
Hmm.
I didn't
So
play
I
a
just
lot of
stayed away
games.
from it.
I didn't play a lot of games from 2020 this year.
That is very true.
Like it really doesn't feel like there was a lot released. I mean, Valorant's at least my
I
favorite
feel like
multiplayer
Valorant's a
game.
very.
Favorite multiplayer
Valorant
game.
had a very big 2020. I believe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Favorite story game, honestly, is gonna go to Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I did enjoy watching that. I didn't play it personally.
It is a
but I
very
did enjoy it.
very fun game. I want to give Cyberpunk something. That game just kind of
It released only in
the story is
December,
fun,
and,
but it's a
you
little
know,
boring. I get a little bit bored of the story relatively quickly, and the bugs are too in my face at times to continue playing it. Even though I do enjoy playing it. Can I give Red Dead? Red
just
Dead came
because
out
it
this year
released on PC this year,
yeah.
you want to give it Game of the Year, just like Steam did.
I mean,
I mean, I guess
it
if
is a
Steam
great
did it,
game. Like,
Well, hang on. Okay, Doom Eternal. Did that
I-
release
I-
this year?
that
Yes,
did. I didn't
Doom
get a chance to
Eternal
play
did
it.
release
I did not play it, so I can't speak.
I watched a little bit of it on Twitch. It seemed pretty
it's
cool.
one of I think that'd be if I didn't watch most of it, like most of a playthrough, I probably would have gotten it and played it.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
out of watching it is by far out of the single player games to watch is probably the most enjoyable thing I've watched this
Mm.
year.
Let's
Like
say,
in the single player genre.
I gotcha.
what's your all's favorite multiplayer game this year?
Multiplayer game.
Mine's going
This
Valorant.
year?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
at least this year. Valorant hits me.
Riot did a fantastic
Fantastic.
job, and obviously, I think it's only going to get better with time.
I
They've
honestly,
managed to pull.
Hey, I won my last game, so
What?
I'm happy with the game right now.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't played enough games to have like a favorite multiplayer. I mean, I guess Genshin is a multiplayer game. Like,
Genshin all
I don't know.
around.
I could give you. I could see Genshin being multiplayer, especially the co-op options of it.
I wish that was implemented a bit better though.
Yeah.
Got to do that.
Favorite single player.
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm just gonna stick with Doom on that one.
Doom.
Actually, yeah, I'll say Doom as well. I didn't play it, but I watched a decent amount of it on Twitch, and it was enjoyable.
Red Dead 2 is gonna go to mine. If it doesn't count, if you don't want to count for 2020, then I'm going Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Valhalla is a fantastic experience.
Yeah, I'll give you Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Like I think it's one of the best Assassin's Creed released in the past few years, and I'm kind of okay with it not being the old Assassin's Creed.
I would really like
Changes
to
they
see that
implemented to it really
studio
well.
create something new, and like a new genre, and step away from Assassin's Creed and try to create something new.
Yeah.
But I know that's probably not going to happen with how successful Assassin's Creed has become. You know.
Yeah.
Kind of stinks.
Uh,
Do we want to go into?
You guys want to go into?
Do you want to cover to the next three, or?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
All right.
I
So,
don't know a
what are your
lot.
thoughts on Mr. Beast hitting 50 million subs on YouTube?
I'm honestly surprised it took him this long.
Oh, you
Yeah,
think you should've hit it
yeah,
earlier?
I feel like he would already have like that 100 million club. Like at this point.
I don't know
Wow,
about that.
There's only like 2 YouTubers on the platform that I think have 100 million.
Is it?
That's like PewDiePie and some foreign
T-series.
T-series, yeah.
Yeah. You really well. The only reason PewDiePie even got that many.
It's
This
because they're all
isn't to
T-series
Yeah, it's not to diminish him, but it literally was like a
competition.
like a movement almost. I
Yeah.
guess.
Get PewDiePie to 100 mil before T-series.
Yeah.
So T-series doesn't even get like a million views, and they have like so many like.
Well,
on
they're
video. So
essentially a content farm. They're
Yeah.
I guess they're not as bad as like actual content farms, but
they put out like
pumping it out,
several
yeah.
videos a day, and they're
Mhm.
like short videos too. I don't even follow PewDiePie, or I don't subscribe to PewDiePie on YouTube.
I'm not
I
subbed
just-
to
I'm not-
PewDiePie or. Mr.
You're not a real
Beast.
9-year-old or 19-year-old now with
22-year-old.
follower base. Yeah, I don't know.
I never see.
I think I watched
Mr.
one
Beast.
video, and that was him.
What's your all's opinion on Mr. Beast's like videos? Like I like his stuff. I think it's entertaining. I
I
He'll
enjoy it.
be. Do we want to put a timestamp on when we think he hits 100 mil?
No.
I think he'll hit that sooner than. How long has he been doing YouTube for? Like 5 years?
Something like that.
Yeah.
How long has he been
So
popping off? On
he'll
YouTube?
hit it way before 10 ever comes around.
You think so?
Yeah. I think he understands. Well, unless he stops doing YouTube, but I don't see that happening.
That's just like
I think he understands the YouTube algorithm too well to not to a sense.
yeah,
Like,
I
he
guess
just-
that's true.
he does such out there things that people just have to click to see what he's doing.
Hmm.
You know, and then again, he might step away from YouTube and do some business things, because I know he wants to expand, or he wants to have an LCS team, so
Hmm.
he might be an LCS owner by the end of 2021. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised. League owner. He is definitely one of the more brilliant people of our generation, I believe, when it comes to like content and what he can do with it.
Hmm. Like what he can do to get those views
Mhm.
for sure.
Well, I mean, he's like the Steve Jobs of content. If
I
that
wouldn't
makes
call
sense.
it that.
I mean, he's
I mean,
brilliant.
if we're calling like top YouTubers and like the forte of Steve Jobs. I would call it more like MKBHD. Like I think he's made such a much larger impact. MKBHD.
Not a clue who that is.
You don't know who that is? He's like a tech guy.
MKPH.
Like this dude, MKBHD. Marquise Brownlee.
PHP. No clue.
This dude, like
13 mil.
Larz, you know who he is, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he does tech review.
Tech video.
hmm
He is the biggest tech YouTuber on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Like, he's interviewed Kobe Bryant.
He had apparently Barack
Gates.
Obama on not too long ago.
Is he bigger than Linus, actually? I feel like
Yeah.
Linus is bigger.
I feel like Linus has more of the hardcore viewer base.
He is
type,
bigger.
like if you're actually a tech person,
MKBHD
You're probably
caters
gonna-
that. He's that simple, but you can get deep, and he just like the quality of stuff he does is insane.
because like I've seen Linus and I enjoy Linus
Yeah,
They're about the
a
same.
lot.
there's about a 1 mil difference, I think.
It's
Yeah.
very close, less than 1 million, but
Yeah, less than a mil.
Yeah.
0.7 mil.
granted, I feel like Linus does a lot more like PC builds, and he
Yeah.
looks like he does
It's
more like
definitely more-
phone,
More
Yeah.
techy.
but definitely different viewer base direction.
Yeah. MKBHD is much more that like this is tech news of what's going on, while Linus is more like
he's
this is what.
reviewing the phones, where I feel like Linus is directed towards the people that are interested in like PC gaming or like
Right.
computer
Like,
industry type.
Yeah,
like,
computer
You're
industry.
deeper-
more likely to see like a video on port forwarding from Linus than you are from MKBHD, for example.
MKBHD
like,
is much more of a
Linus is
casual
more
viewer.
targeted into like, I don't want to say like the nerdy side of tech, but like, I mean that's kind of what it is.
yeah,
MKBHD is more
probably why I've found out who Linus is before the other
Yeah.
one.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because anytime I look at stuff for tech wise, it's going to be towards Linus. That's
I guess the production quality of MKBHD alone has been like the reason I say he's more the Steve Jobs. Like so
I don't know.
much higher production quality of anything. Like if you just watch it, like their video.
I feel like
production
I
is
view Steve Jobs as one of those like, brilliant thinkers that's going to come up with something, not necessarily.
okay. I was going like more than like
He's like I feel like
design.
Mr. Beach understands content to so much a higher degree that like he could put out he literally does it now, where he puts it maybe out a video every couple of weeks.
hmm
Yet he's growing so much faster than people that would put out a video every single day. I think he spends so much time. He probably spends several hours thinking of a title for a video than he probably spends more time thinking about the title of the video than he does actually recording. I would almost say. And that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but he probably puts so much time thinking in what's going to be the best title of that video.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said for having a good title where the algorithm decides to, present
up.
the video to however many millions of people.
And then as soon as enough people click on it, it's going to be the first thing that shows up because so many people have already viewed it. We want to continue on to a Rogue Rebrand, the esports org.
Yeah.
sure.
All right. So have you guys both seen the Rogue Rebrand? Like,
I have not
naming
seen
stuff
it.
and stuff? I don't think it's that big of a difference. I do like the look of it, but I saw in the what is it? What they put out like a tweet or whatever, and someone like shopped it into the Ninja logo, and I was laughing at that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I do like it. I think it's a little bit more simplistic.
it's clean.
It looks a little bit.
hmm It's very
It's very
clean
clean.
for sure.
I think it's a trend of like design and stuff.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it changes. But I think they kept enough of the original look that it's not like
Like you're still gonna know what
you're
org
gonna
that is.
understand. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna understand which org it is by looking at it.
With the new hero and
I don't think there's much to
Valorant.
cover on that, but like I
Yeah.
just wanted to bring it up that some people may not notice or see it or pay attention that they actually changed anything. I guess we'll end off here on the Valorant new hero that's coming out next. Is it in next act or season 2 of Valorant or whatever they want to call it? Yoru. So there's been a YouTube leaks already on the hero, that weren't supposed to be out, but you can easily find it and all his abilities. So from what I'm hearing, from what I've watched, he is a duelist hero with lurking capability. So like he has his own flash. He has 2 flashes that only go off when they hit another surface. So you have to like throw it off a wall or the floor or whatever else to get it to flash.
What is this footstep?
So he can do, I guess, like
enemies?
fake footsteps to make someone think
okay.
He's making footsteps. Like he could send that down a flank or something.
Yeah.
Like he's pushing it to scare people off of it.
I can
He has a flash. He has like a teleport. Rewind or whatever you want to call it, where he can trigger it and go back to it, but he can send it to somewhere else or whatever.
Is that the one where it looks like he's like making a tear into reality with his hand?
No, that one's his ultimate, where he goes a tear into another dimension where he cannot be seen, but he doesn't have his gun out, and there's an animation. So like it's like a recon, I guess. Like he can go into it and see enemies, and then obviously you're not just going to pull it out staring at someone, because you're going to have an animation and you have to pull your gun out.
Right.
Probably get shot before that ever happens, but he could sneak up behind people maybe. I don't know if there's a sound cue to that either, but
the abilities look cool and interesting.
It's very interesting. I do like his flashes though, because I feel like there's going to be some very unique I think there's a higher skill ceiling to his flashes than all the other heroes with flashes.
Yeah.
It's not like a breach flash where it's point click. It's not like a Phoenix flash where you walk up to a corner and choose which way you want to throw it. And I think his is more like he has like a CS flash in a sense.
Yeah, I would say he looks like more of a much more skill based character.
But he has to throw it off something, so like he can find. I guess if he can find a lineup where it bounces off a wall, that covers a lot of sight.
I feel like it'll be a fun character.
It could be really good.
It'll be definitely a fun character to play as.
Definitely interesting. I don't know how he'll actually play, or if he'll be. I guess his strength will really come to whether or not his abilities are
going to be
noticeable or not.
I mean, I feel like the footstep one is going to be a really noticeable one.
Well, I mean, like you're going to want people to hear it, but I don't know. Are you going to be able to see it on the ground, or is it going to be invisible to other people and you just hear footsteps?
I think it's just going to be audible.
If it's just audible, it's going to be stronger. But if you can see the fake footsteps, like then you're going to know either he's not there, because I'm pretty sure he can set that on a timer and just trigger it any time.
Yeah.
Like he could put that on A site and walk all the way
over
to
again.
I'll leave him up there.
Your cat just jump itself somewhere.
Yeah, just look in the back and see. But no, I think it'll be a pretty strong character, honestly, especially with that set of abilities.
I think his ultimate is make or break too, though. Like if he has like an audible cue and you can hear him in his ult. Well, I mean, I guess like obviously he'll say something when he goes into it and people know that, but like if he gets close to you in his ult, and you can hear it or even see footsteps, like if you could see his footsteps while he's in another reality, could hurt the strength of it. But I mean, like, it'll be interesting. He'll definitely, I feel like he's one of those characters that may need a couple of patches.
Right.
If he comes in way too strong, he'll probably need to be brought back. I don't think his flashes are a problem from what I've seen. I think he has the same duration flash that everyone else does. It's not like his flash lasts longer or anything.
Yeah.
But from what I see, I don't think he'll be busted. I think his playstyle might be really annoying to some people, though.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun character, though. It looks like a fun character.
I'm not gonna spend, was it $10 to get a new hero or whatever?
Mm.
I mean, I guess I'll play to unlock him.
That's
and,
what I'll
like,
do probably.
But I definitely not gonna spend money to unlock him day one, like some people will. But those people are people that play the game way more than me, anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I'm good on everything.
Closing.
All right.
Thanks for everyone tuning in. If you've gotten this far, leave a like and say "gotcha" in the comment section.
I like it.
That works.
Thank y'all for watching.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace. You said the trickster?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when to hit play.
All right.
3, 2. We ready?
Hang on a sec. He freaking yeeted himself up on the breath.